Big Ten Media Day yesterday. Always a fun time to hear from anyone involved with Illinois basketball. I ended up quote tweeting a couple different quotes from various Illinois players or coaches yesterday, and just saying, as I always do, I love this program. There's no program who does media day more chaotically or hilariously than Illinois under Brad Underwood. It's always been that way. The Real Housewives of Champaign, as we call them, the faces may change, the chaos never does. To that point, Tom Ivisic, Illinois' best player, leading scorer, scratched from Media Day because he scheduled a tonsil surgery the day before Media Day. So, seems like a relatively avoidable thing, maybe. Maybe you could just schedule him to get his tonsils out not before Media Day if you wanted Tom Ivisic at Media Day. But instead, Tomislav is not at Media Day. We got to hear from Kylan Boswell, and the one and only Benham Rickhouse was on full display for Illinois in Tommy's place. Okay, besides that, this is a quote I wanted to run by you. Let's be clear, this is a very jokey quote, but it's a great one-liner. Kylin and Ben, who are the only two players on hand to represent Illinois, were asked what it's like playing with Zvonimir and Tomislav, both of the Ivisic twins together, and how they interact together. Kylan Boswell jumped right in. As the voice of the Illinois program, the leader of this team, Kylin had two words on what it's like seeing the Ivisics together. Quote, they're idiots. Benham Rickhouse then jumped in and said, I was just going to call them brothers, but that's a better way to put it. If you watch the full video clip of this, they clearly are saying this in an endearing way, but they're idiots. We never know what they're talking about. They're both goofy guys, etc., etc. You're making a face. Do you like the fact that Illinois' leader is calling their front court sibling duo idiots?
Well, no, I'm wondering which I did. If I close my eyes, is someone describing us or the Ivisic brothers? That's what I was trying to say. Are you Tomislav or am I Vonimir? Like which one are we?
I think if we were going to go down that metaphorical path, I'm definitely Zvonimir
Why?
because I think I'd rather not answer.
All right, you don't have to
I
answer,
think
but
I'm the more chaotic evil one.
oh yeah, for sure.
I think you're the more lovable one.
I think that's fair to say. Yeah. Is there another Ivisic brother? I feel like there's another one that could possibly be me
Why wouldn't you be one of the first two?
because I'm not all that reliable.
Do you think the Ivisic brothers are reliable?
No, I'm not, and we'll talk about that after this quote. But I mean, look. I saw like that little everyday guys clip that they brought out, and I could see how these two brothers got a little. And like, I want to make this very clear for any first time listeners here. It's a term of endearment here on Sleepers Media YouTube channel. The Visage brothers are dickheads when they're together.
And sometimes when they're not. Now, look, Tomislav, I don't think Tomislav had any like issues last year, other than like there were moments where Tommy kind of got like a little feisty on the edge on the court, but that's on the court and that's great, right? Um, the scout on Zvonimir Ivisic since he arrived to America to play college basketball has been idiotic to say the least, right? Is that fair to say?
Yeah, 100%.
Like the story of his time at Kentucky turned into his time at Arkansas has been that like he's a guy who goes through the motions and is kind of just goofy and
Yeah.
isn't exactly the greatest competitor ever. He's kind of
Mm.
just a goofy weirdo who doesn't take this all that serious.
Are you gonna do this?
I think I've hinted at this as a concern before now, but I'm certainly going to raise it now.
So this is wow. I feel so qualified to talk about this. There was a time when I was in school You couldn't put me and a certain player in the same vicinity all the time.
Because they're bad for each other.
It was bad for each other. We weren't the best versions of ourselves at sometimes because our focus could wander a little bit. Is that where you're going with this?
Dion, how's your job going?
Beginning of the school year, everything's like a little up and down. One of the biggest issues we've had is we can't find any uniforms for our girls' sports teams.
Mm, that's a difficult thing to find a solution for. I know damn well all about that because I got a daughter that just turned 2. She's into sports and she's already outgrowing every little piece of sports apparel she had. Thankfully, I know Clara Kate Creations. Clara Kate Creations was started by a former high school teacher who quit because it wasn't cost effective to send new twins and a 2-year-old to daycare. She found it easier to make girl sports apparel than finding it to buy. And I am so thankful that she exists because if we have an old shirt of Murph's that she's outgrown, we can send it in and she takes that piece of apparel that means something and upcycles it into an outfit that Murphy can now wear as she grows up. She makes great stuff. It's honestly kind of like your fullback's wife, Kyle Juszczyk. Is that how you say it? She does that. But honestly, I think Clara Kate's coming for Mrs. Juszczyk's job.
I love that. I'm a big Juice guy, love his wife, love Claire Kate even more than both of them, though.
You can send in your own custom ideas and she will come up with a design. She's just the best. Look up Clara Kate Creations on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and more. Here's what I would say. And part of this is just the habits that Brad already instilled in him. Like, I trust Brad Underwood to get the most out of anyone he gets his hands on, except for Carrie Booth. That didn't seem like it went overly well. But I think that being around Tomislav is probably the best thing for Zvonimir.
Mhm.
I think going back with someone you are comfortable with, have a real life relationship with, that has your best interest at heart, that also like already is a productive star college basketball player, has learned the right things. You can even just see before and after pictures of Tomislav. Like Tomislav has taken his basketball journey seriously and built himself into something he hasn't been before. Even Big Z said that at Illinois' media day. He was like, "Man, just from reuniting with him, he looks different than I've ever seen him. I want that." Like that's Fletch, that's Illinois, and that's Tomislav taking it serious. So I think Tomislav's presence is probably the best thing that could happen to Zvonimir. There's an argument that Zvonimir's presence is the worst thing that could happen to Tomislav. Like I'm sorry. And maybe I have a misread. Hopefully I'm wrong on this and we can eat our words in February like many of the other things we've been super wrong about. But the scout here is out that this guy doesn't take his career seriously basketball wise.
Mm.
And now you drop him alongside like the best player on this team. It could be a distraction. And look, either way, whether or not this was just meant as like pure loving endearment, they're fun guys. If Kylin is the leader of this team, he is the leader of this team. He's the captain. He's the Brad's comparing him to Io in terms of how competitive he is. If Kylan's coming out and saying, yeah, these two are idiots, that doesn't feel like it feels great to me. I don't want to hear that my front court pairing are idiots. I want to hear that they're like locked the hell in. And instead, Tom can't even make it to media day because he got his tonsils out. Like,
Yeah, that's a whole nother thing we could talk about. But I mean, to your point, looking at what doomsday scenario is for this situation, and it's not a situation. Situation is not not the right word for it, but just looking at it in the lens of like having his brother around, let's say like it gets to a point where Zvonimir is not the main option at the fourth or not playing a lot on this team. Is he gonna have the best, body language PhD?
right.
His brother being down in the dumps gonna affect our star player brother? Like that could happen in a world. Um, but yeah, it's funny though because I think every front court that I played on, my point guard would describe that front court as idiots. So I kind of relate to this in a way. The big thing for me is like this isn't like a cold for Thomas. He's gonna miss the exhibition game probably.
Yeah.
And in his time at Illinois, like my dog isn't catching sniffles. He's gotten mono, and now he's getting his tonsils out. Like,
So
goddamn,
you're
man.
worried about the tonsils.
I'm worried about my star player's immune system.
Okay. I am not worried
Like
about the
I
tonsils long term.
I am. Look. Shot of elderberry, club soda, vitamins daily. Like I know Fletch is a strength and conditioning guy. Can we get some immune system strengthening, please?
I am not worried about the tonsils long term. I am worried about the leader of this clubhouse referring to these two together as unserious dickheads.
We're not worried about our star player in his time at Illinois has basically been sick for a quarter of it.
Well, Cart, respectfully,
And like we're getting quotes on my Brad's like, I mean, we hope to have him back here. We got to see how his body reacts. My mind can't go to a place that his body doesn't react well to shit because his immune system's bad.
respectfully, there's bigger absences to worry about. They have no idea when Andre's back. They have no idea if Petro's cleared.
That's what I'm saying. Everything in that. That's the more concerning part to me. We're missing pieces.
But Keaton Wagler's Casper's mixed with Riley mixed with Io.
But we're also so
And
every
he's
piece,
here.
every piece that we're missing, Keaton Wagler is. So we're fine.
We're fine. We're fine. It's basically choose your own adventure. It's choose your own panic button with Illinois basketball right now. You think tonsils, I think idiots.